Chapter 1. The Move-In. It started when I moved into that basement apartment. Rent was cheap. Too cheap. I'd just finished college. No job yet. Barely scraping by. When I found a Craigslist ad for a one-bedroom with a private entrance, I jumped. The photos looked old, but the place was clean, cozy, isolated. Perfect, I thought. The landlord was a quiet, older guy. Said his name was Rick. Showed me the place, handed me the keys, and warned me that the walls creaked from old pipes. Nothing unusual, but something about his eyes. The way he handed over the keys like he was glad to be done with it, like he didn't want to be involved. First night there, I didn't sleep much. You never do in a new place. Every creak felt louder. I heard something scraping across the ceiling. Pipes, maybe. But this was the basement. Second night, it was quieter. I settled in. Lit a candle, read a book, put on a playlist of rain sounds. Almost peaceful. The atmosphere in the apartment was strange. The air always felt heavy, like the humidity clung to your skin. The kind of feeling you get in a room where someone just had a fight. Except I was alone. There were other small oddities. The door hinges felt newer than the frame they were attached to. The light switch near the bedroom sparked once when I touched it, and there was an odd stain on the far side of the bedroom wall, right above the floorboards. A soft brown mark like water damage, but the walls felt dry. It wasn't until the third day that I noticed the hatch. I had dropped a coin near the foot of the bed. As I bent down to pick it up, I saw a thin metal edge peeking out from beneath the bed frame. Curious, I moved the bed slightly. There it was. A small, rectangular metal hatch. No markings, no latch, just flush with the floorboards. I figured it was a utility space, but something about it made my stomach churn. I left it alone. For now. Chapter 2. The feeling that night. I kept waking up. Same time, over and over, 3:17 a.m., always 3:17. I'd glance at my phone, the digits glowing like a warning. Then I'd stare into the dark, feeling watched, but there was never anything there. On the fourth morning, I woke up feeling cold. My blanket was on the floor, perfectly folded, which I never do. A memory flashed back from childhood. My grandmother telling me that ghosts fold things when they don't want to scare you too much. I laughed it off. Until the next night. I woke up from a nightmare, soaked in sweat. The kind of dream you can't quite remember, but leaves your heart racing. I turned on the lamp. The room looked the same, but it didn't feel the same. My pillow had shifted. It was vertical now, propped upright like someone had been watching me from it. The fifth night, I smelled something. Mildew, wet cloth, earth, something old and organic. I opened the closet, checked the kitchen. Nothing. When I returned to the bed, I found a single long strand of black hair resting on my pillow. I have short hair, buzzed, and I live alone. I stared at it for a long time. Then I flushed it down the toilet and convinced myself it must have been stuck in my laundry, even though I hadn't done laundry in a week. Chapter 3. The Scratch. That day, I noticed something new. A scratch on the inside of my bedroom door. Thin, horizontal, like a fingernail dragged across the paint. But it wasn't just one. I looked closer. There were 3, all evenly spaced, low to the floor, as if someone, or something, had scraped from a crouching position. I checked the door's lock, still secure. The chain was in place. My stomach twisted. Later, I recorded a voice memo on my phone. I wanted a record, a sanity check. Day 5, something's off. Either I'm being paranoid or someone's been in my room. The 6th morning, I woke up to my bedroom window slightly open. I never open it. especially not at night, and definitely not in winter. The cold had crept into the room, clinging to my skin even under the covers. There was a faint trace of condensation on the windowsill, and in it, a small smudge, like the tip of a finger had pressed against the glass. I didn't wait. I bought a cheap night vision camera online. It arrived in 2 days. I set it up on my dresser, pointed straight at the bed. I told myself it was just to make me feel better. But deep down, I wanted proof. Proof that I wasn't imagining things. I wasn't ready for what it recorded. Chapter 4. The footage. I woke up groggy the next morning. Nothing felt off. No strange smells. No odd feelings. I even thought maybe the worst was behind me. I made coffee, sat down, plugged the camera into my laptop. Hours of normal footage. Me tossing, turning, snoring. I clicked through quickly until I hit 3:17 a.m. The screen flickered for a moment, like interference. Then the bed creaked. I watched myself stir slightly, my head turning toward the edge of the mattress. Then from underneath the bed, something emerged. A hand, pale, twitching, followed by an arm, thin and sinewy. Then a head. A man, bald, gaunt, shirtless, eyes wide open, white, reflecting the infrared light like an animal. He crawled out slowly, silently. His limbs moved too smoothly, like a puppet on strings. He stood next to my bed. His face hovered inches above mine. I didn't wake. He just stood there, watching. 4 minutes. Then he moved again, faster this time, and ducked back down toward the foot of the bed. But he didn't crawl under. He vanished. The frame skipped, cut to black. Nothing more. I replayed it, again and again. Same result. It didn't make sense. No door opened, no window closed. He was just gone. That night, I didn't sleep. I left every light on. Hammer beside me, camera still recording. But I never heard anything. Chapter 5. The Investigation. The next morning, I didn't even wait for the sun to rise. I called Rick, the landlord. Hey, you said no one's lived here in months, right? Yeah, that's right. No issues with break-ins, squatters. Not that I know of. Why? I think someone's been in here. There was a pause, a long one. Then he said, don't go poking around under the bed. If something's there, just leave it. I hung up. His voice didn't sound surprised. It sounded resigned. I started searching online. Property history, Reddit forums, local crime reports, and I found a thread from 2 years ago. Has anyone lived at 1049 Redwood Street? Weird vibes. Found a camera in my closet. That was my unit. The user account hadn't posted since. The name tied to the old lease. Michael Pierce. Reported missing. Never found. Last known address, my apartment. Chapter 6. The Discovery. I couldn't ignore it anymore. I opened the closet, ran my fingers along the back panel, knocked, hollow. I grabbed a screwdriver, wedged it into the seam, pried it open. Behind it, darkness. A crawl space, no more than 3 feet high. I turned on my phone's flashlight and crawled in. The smell hit me instantly. Mildew, sweat, decay. The walls were lined with insulation that had been torn open, revealing rusted pipes and scrawled markings, scratches, names, dates, food wrappers, crumpled water bottles, dirty clothes, and then, in the corner, a mattress, still warm. Beside it, a Polaroid photograph of me, sleeping, taken from under the bed. Suddenly I heard it, behind me, in the apartment. Footsteps, slow, deliberate. I froze. Then I heard breathing. Not mine. I scrambled backward, scraping my arms and knees. Burst through the panel, slammed the closet door shut. just as something thumped against it from the inside. I shoved a chair in front of it, and I waited. Chapter 7. The Escape. I didn't sleep. I packed a single bag, my laptop, my camera, the hammer. I waited on the couch, facing the closet. At 3:17 a.m. the lights flickered, and then I saw him, crawling from the closet, pale, shaking, neck twitching like a broken doll. He stepped into the light, eyes wide, smiling. "Stay." That's all he said. I ran, through the door, into the cold. Didn't stop, not even when I heard the door creak behind me. I never went back. Weeks later, I got an email from Rick. "Hey, just a heads up. Maintenance found something under the floorboards. Thought it might be yours." Attached was a photo. Me, sleeping, in my new apartment.